Our hurricane specialist Michael Lauer is standing by with the latest on Gabrielle and Humberto and even another disturbance.
Yeah, Vivian, the entire Atlantic's really covered with tropical cyclones today. Take a look at our overview graphic. We have Tropical Storm Gabrielle, we have Tropical Storm Humberto, and then we also have this area of interest in the Gulf of Mexico. All that we're watching today and all that we're going to cover here. Starting first, though, with Gabrielle because of the immediate impacts that it's having in Bermuda. This is the latest information that we have as of the past hour. 40-mile-per-hour maximum sustained winds moving north at 12 miles per hour, just about 120 miles to the south here of Bermuda. I want to show you the visible satellite picture, though, because Gabrielle is pretty disorganized. It's seeing some strong upper level winds at the upper levels of the atmosphere that are blowing off all the weather to the north and east. And this is good news for Bermuda because as the storm moves toward the north, a lot of the strongest weather is going to be to the east. But nevertheless, it's going to bring a lot of gusty winds and some heavy rainfall to Bermuda over the next few days. And unfortunately, it's going to be a slow moving storm, so we're expecting this weather to continue really through Thursday. By the end of the week, though, there is a cold front that is digging down through the southeast U.S., and that's going to whisk it away out to sea and into the Canadian Maritimes. And we can finally say goodbye to Gabrielle. Gabrielle, remember, was that storm that affected Puerto Rico last weekend and then reformed overnight. Let's talk about Humberto. That's sort of been the meteorological interest storm of the past week or so because it could become our first hurricane. It winds at 65 miles per hour, moving west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. Pretty organized storm. It's leveled off in intensity here, but we still do expect it to intensify over the next few days into a hurricane. The Hurricane Center has it becoming our first hurricane tomorrow morning and then eventually turning out to sea and then back as high pressure builds in, but it won't be a threat here to the U.S. Now, lastly, I want to get you to the Gulf of Mexico where we're watching this area of interest, and this is really going to be the weather story as we get into the weekend. The Hurricane Center right now, this is just a tropical wave, and behind it we have a broad area of low pressure. That's what we're circling here, and the Hurricane Center thinks that this has about a 60% chance of becoming a depression or storm over the next 5 days. Now we can track the spin. Right now it's a big broad area of spin here in the Western Caribbean. So this is right now. Then as we move through the week, you're going to notice the spin becomes much more concentrated in the Bay of Campeche and the southern Gulf of Mexico, so that by the weekend, by Saturday, we could have a developing storm here in the southern Gulf, and thereafter some of the models take it up into southern Texas, some of it into northern Mexico. So there's a big question mark here as far as where it goes, but we do know that regardless it's going to have some coastal impacts here in the U.S. We're talking about that persistent onshore flow that can increase the risk of rip currents and lead to possible coastal flooding. So stay tuned here to the Weather Channel as we move through the week.